welcome to my channel. I'm Sugar Cutie Mystic, and today we're going to do a pick a card reading on what makes you different. So I think it's quite common today to not really fit in certain places of life, maybe where you grew up, maybe your family, maybe school, maybe friends, whatever it may be, and to kind of question why. So hopefully this video will answer some of the questions. Of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. Let this be a confirmation for you on things that you may have felt your whole life about being different. And often in our differences is where we find our power, it's where we find our strength, it's where we find kind of where we actually fit in the world at large, more so than the small world of our kind of social spheres. So yeah, my hope is that this will help to uplift you and allow you to see that you belong to the universe, you belong to the earth, and you do have a space here that is very important and valid. So this will be pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. For pile 1, we have a citrine crystal point. For pile 2, we have a rose quartz. It's a little bit ashy because I burned stuff over it. And then for pile 3, we have this red amethyst, black red amethyst. And then pile 4, bloodstone. So you kind of get a feel of what that looks like. Hopefully the camera's not too blurry. So take a moment, figure out which pile speaks to you the most. You can pause the video if you want to, let your intuition guide you. And when you're ready, click on the timestamp in the description box to go to your reading. Welcome pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you picked the citrine point, this will be your pile. So let's figure out what makes you different. So first we have the World card. So very interesting. You may be a foreigner, like you may have moved to the place you grew up or to the place you live now. Yeah, I mean, the main thing I'm getting here is that you probably don't originate from the space that you grew up in. Or if you did, you kind of felt alienated from it. Like you never really fit into the culture, you never really vibed with the people around you. Very different from this physical location you are. And I also get the sense that you're a bit of a completionist, that you like to see things through to the end. Okay, and then we have the 5 of Swords. So I feel like you're someone who kind of goes through struggles alone. You go through your difficulties and challenges by yourself. And that kind of isolates and alienates you from the people around you. You're not one to ask for help. And yeah, I get the sense that you're not going to talk about something until after you've completed it, until after you've gotten to the other side of it. You'll kind of keep it hidden, you'll keep it to yourself. And the Ace of Swords. So you're very intellectual, you have really good ideas, and a lot of like mental fortitude. So this is probably why you're able to handle things this way, is that your mental power is very strong. And we have 2 swords, so you may be an air sign or just a lot of air energy around you, so you kind of like float over or around things. You're not as grounded into the places that you've been. Yeah, and you just have really good ideas. Like, I'm getting that people can't really keep up with the way that you think or the way that you perceive the world. And then Dancer of Beginnings. With this beginning card, I get the feeling that you may be like a really new soul. Maybe your last incarnation, if you believe in reincarnation, wasn't on the planet Earth. Or maybe you were like a spirit guide or an angel and you kind of watched before you participated. And so because of that, even if you are not foreign to the place you grew up, you feel foreign to the world at large, you feel foreign to the earth. The energy here I'm getting is very dense and heavy for you, and you're a very light, airy spirit. I don't know if you can hear, there was yelling going on in the room beside me, unfortunately. Hunter of Strength. So again, this speaks to your mental fortitude, the strength that you have, this ability to kind of get through hardships on your own. You have a lot of power in that aspect. Yeah, both of these, just like mental fortitude to the max. I'm getting that you can't really be influenced by others that much. You don't really sway your perspective based off things like peer pressure or social pressure. How you think and see the world is very how you think and see the world. And while it is changeable, you're not impressionable. You don't go with the group. You don't necessarily think how the people around you think just because everyone is agreeing. You don't necessarily agree. And the Shiva Lingam. So you may have a very open third eye with the Shiva Lingam. A lot of like sexual power and sexual energy. Not sure if you're connected to that or disconnected from that, but you definitely have like this sexual magnetism. Bravery and Oceans. This is the first time that card has actually ever come up. So yeah, you guys are very brave. And again, like I put it right by the World card and she's like walking over the world. You see that? Like I feel like you have this ability to rise above challenge in a way that most people do not. Rise above the density of the things that you're facing. And so yeah, because of that, you don't really connect to people as deeply. You don't really connect to people who are stuck in their suffering or stuck in their obstacles and challenges. You have a hard time relating to that because you just go through it. Clarity and Mountain. Yes, you guys are very clear. Like I said, very spiritual. You probably have a very open third eye. You might be psychic in some way, whether or not you're aware of that. Again, lots of white energy coming through, lots of air. So very ethereal spirit. And then solidity and inner core. So yeah, again, this is speaking to that kind of mental fortitude, that strength that you have within yourself. Your inner core can't really be shaken by the things that occur to you, which is very cool, but at the same time makes it hard for you to relate to the people around you that are easily shaken, that don't have this solid personality and are very impressionable, that aren't as clear thinking as you are. You have very clear thoughts, very clear perception of the world. And I feel like a lot of this is because of this disconnection you feel with the world at large, maybe with the planet Earth itself. You kind of maintain it. You don't necessarily connect to people as much as you can. You kind of notice the ways that they're different from you more than looking for the ways that you relate or looking for the ways that you belong. And so it keeps you separate. You kind of keep yourself separate. I have a sense that you hide parts of yourself or a lot of yourself. And I feel like it's because of this very pure, white light energy that you have about you. You don't really want to be affected by people's negative impressions. Even though you have this solid core and this inner fortitude, you may not be aware of how strong you really are. And so you don't want to be around people with these negative perspectives or certain ways of seeing the world. You kind of separate from that. You're trying to keep yourself safe in a way. I have this feeling that you guys would be like a really good seer. Maybe you have like premonitions or dreams that predict the future in a way. Or you can clearly see things that others can't, which might make you really good in things like, I don't know, like therapy or talking about people's issues with them, counseling, because you can clearly see what others are not able to see in a situation. You have this very pure energy though, so you might find something like that difficult. And I feel like birds and air are really important to you. You may have the dove as a spirit guide, or may look for signs of doves. That could be confirmation for some of you, or just white birds, seagulls as well. Yeah, so this is what I'm picking up on for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed your reading. You can let me know in the comments if it resonated or if parts didn't resonate. It really helps me to receive feedback from you guys. So if you want to, that's awesome. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. So welcome pile 2. This is your reading if you picked the rose quartz. So let's see what makes you different. So first we have the Nirvana quartz. Ooh, so very cool. Yeah, you guys are very divinely connected. I have a sense that you're very connected to like a sense of joy and a sense of bliss. Yeah, you're very clear and very pure. Like your energy channels are just naturally open. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And the Three of Wands. So with this, I get the feeling that you're really changeable. You're not one to just pick a path and stay with it. You're kind of an explorer who wants to try lots of different things, go lots of different ways. You're always looking for something more, something bigger. I'm getting this really like excitable energy, lots of action power. Yeah, you're not one to just go down a straight and narrow road. You don't necessarily like something that is easy and straightforward, like picking one job and staying in it for the next 20 years. You want to mix it up. And I'm getting that the people around you were very stable, or have been at some point in your life, are very stable, very secure. They're not comfortable with that energy at all. And so they may have tried to kind of dismiss it in you or deny it a little bit, tell you it's unrealistic or it's not stable to do these things, to kind of jump around and try a lot of different things and explore different ideas, different career paths, different countries even. You may be a bit of a traveler. You may move a lot. Yeah. We have the Dancer of Promise. So I have the feeling that you have a lot of potential. Like you're the type of person who has the ability to really bring what they want into fruition if they focus. I think you have the tendency to not focus or to kind of mix it up and go onto a different track. But when you do focus, it's like you have so much action power that you can channel into something. And other people can really see that. I'm feeling the word like sprightly just keeps coming up. I'm not really even sure what that means, but you guys are sprightly. Like springy, I guess. Hunter of paths. So yeah, again with this path kind of vibe here, you guys are willing to take different paths than most people are willing to take. You guys are the ones who will walk the road less traveled, or who is more excited about starting a new path than they are about being stuck in one way of being their whole life. I feel like you have many things to do in this lifetime. You have many different roads to take, whereas a lot of people may just have one road and they just go down it and that's it. Maybe they try a couple of things and then they pick a lane and stay in it. For you guys, there's not really a need to do that. You have a lot that you can do. You have a lot that you can accomplish. You don't have to stay fixed like everyone else, which is pretty cool. Yeah, here we go. Movement and speed. Yeah, you guys can get what you want pretty fast. You guys have a lot of action power, as I was saying, a lot of energy to complete your goals or to try new things. Or I feel like once you think you want to do something, you just kind of go for it really fast. Lots of movement. You may be naturally physically fit or athletic as well. And richness and marine life. So yeah, you may be actually like financially well off, or it could more so be, what I'm really feeling is that there's so much in your life with this ability to kind of change paths and mix it up and do things quickly and put your energy into something. You get a lot out of life, more than other people. There's an abundance to your experiences. You have a lot more varied of a life path than most of the people you're around, and so it's hard for you to connect and relate to those people that don't really get why you would just start something new or change it up. But there's a lot for you here. There's a lot for you to do on earth. There's a lot for you to put your energy towards. You have a very full life. If you haven't had a full life yet, you will, definitely. And solitariness and desert. Yeah, so I'm getting you guys are very solitary. Independent energy for sure. Again, lots of heat coming off of this energy. You could be a fire sign, could be an air sign as well. Yeah, you guys kind of keep to yourself, so you kind of feed into that disconnection a little bit by doing everything on your own and being super independent with your life choices. You don't really ask other people's permission first. You just go for what you want to go for. And yeah, that makes you different. That makes you kind of stand out a little bit. And I get this sense that people really like to kind of talk about the things that you do. You're probably a lot more interesting than most people. So you're like an easy topic of conversation because you're always mixing it up. And, you know, that gives people the chance to be like, oh, well, that's not very secure. They gotta pick a lane. That's what I get the sense is people love to talk about how what you're doing is just a bit crazy. Because it is, but it's really cool. Like, there's a lot for you here on Earth. That's what I've said this before, but I'm really feeling that. There is no need for you to just pick one path and see it to the end. That's not your energy. Your energy is mixing it up. It's trying new things. It's exploring all of the things you have to explore. All of the things that you're curious about. Let your curiosity really guide you. You have a very curious way of being. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for you guys. You can let me know how you felt about it, if it felt like it related to you at all. If not, your feedback is very helpful. Otherwise, if you don't feel like commenting, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. So welcome to your reading, pile 3. If you picked the red amethyst, this will be your reading. So let's see what makes you different. So first we have the Shaman of Reflections. So yeah, you guys have a very reflective nature about you. I get the sense that you're the type of person who can look back on the past and gain a lot of lessons from it. Lectures was the word that was trying to come out there. Maybe that's confirmation for you guys. Also, there's a snake. You may have a snake spirit animal or spirit guide. And you're like a very big energy with this Shaman of Reflection cards. You're a very big energy. Not necessarily physical big, but there's like a largeness about you. Okay. Hunter of Dreams. So yeah, very reflective, very dreamy. You may have big dreams, big aspirations, or ambitions for yourself. This could also speak to the dream world. You may have a very full dream world, which can make it so that your reality and your dream state kind of fuse into one. Makes it a little bit harder to connect with people sometimes. You guys are very deep thinkers. Oh, and then you have Rhodochrosite. So yeah, that's a very loving stone, open heart chakra. I feel like you're very affectionate. You have very big displays of love. There's kind of like a drama about you when you are giving love to people. And I feel like you really cherish the things in your life that mean something to you. There's like this very cherishing energy. And then we have creation and water. So yeah, you guys could be a water sign or have some water in your chart. You're very mystical, very creative spirits with this reflection and this dreams, all very watery things, the open heart. I feel like you have like this deep wisdom about you, this inner knowing about things. You may have a really strong sense of intuition. And darkness and moon. Yeah, so moon, you could be a Cancer, ruled by the moon, or Pisces. But yeah, I feel like because you're so deep, you have this very deep energy about you. You also have this darkness. You're very like elusive and mysterious, and your light is kind of like reflective. Again, the Shaman of Reflections. And you know how the moon reflects the light of the sun. You really like reflect light in a way that makes you almost like hard to reach. It's hard to know what's real about you from a kind of outside perspective. It's hard to like truly get a sense of who you are. And so it's hard for people to connect with you fully. And I feel like almost like some people like to prefer to maintain the mystery about you than to get close to you and really know who you are. And you may have found that in your life, like people like to put you on this kind of pedestal and not really take you down from it and really get to know you as a person. They like to look at you with this like, yeah, illusion. You might be a reflector in human design. I don't know if you've heard of human design, but yeah, lots of reflective energy. And speaking your voice. Interesting. So yeah, I feel like you maybe say things that other people wouldn't say. You speak your mind more. You may kind of not be as scared to go against the grain or go against general popular opinions. And it makes you a little bit different. I also feel like you have a very like impressive voice. It makes you stand out a little bit. Maybe your voice was very deep. There's like overall deepness to you. And like so much space is coming through this as well. Very spacey energy. You may be kind of someone who zones out or gets lost in your thoughts very easily. Then you have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So yeah, I feel like you have a lot of emotions, a lot of intuition, and it kind of like overfills and spills out from you. I really get the sense that you're really willing to give all that you have in love. And so maybe it's been hard for you in the past in romance because you don't really connect with people who are on the same level that you are. And so you're here giving everything that you have, pouring everything that you have into someone, all this deepness, all this love, and you're not getting it back. And eventually it kind of like empties you out. Or you may just kind of watch the world that we have now, all the casual relationships, all the casual hookups, and it's just not deep enough for you. There's not enough to it to really make you feel joy. And so you kind of disconnect from the world in that way. And you feel like you don't fit into this world where we kind of treat people as disposable. I get the sense that lions are very important to you. I'm not sure where this is coming from, but lions may be your spirit animal or a guide for you. You may be seeing lots of lions recently. That could be confirmation for you. There are no lions here, so I'm not sure where that is coming from, but yeah. Okay, yeah, and the Lovers in reverse. So yeah, you have a very deep love. You have a very big heart. And again, I'm just feeling that same kind of thing. You can't connect to this general way that we date today. Or that we connect to people even on a friendship level, where relationships and partnerships and things like that can be really shallow and really surfacey. And you guys are just deep. You have trouble coming out of the ocean and connecting with people on the surface and fitting in with that surface way of living and surface way of seeing the world. You may have lost love that was really important to you as well, and that kind of made you feel separated from the world when you lost it. And then Jessica. So you could have some Libra in you. Libra, your sign. But you're very balanced. I get the sense that you guys have like really good karma. And it makes you different for other people. Like maybe things work out easier for you than for other people. And it's because of this good karma. You're very just and fair. You want things to be balanced and harmonious and even. And so it's hard for you to kind of exist in this world where we have good and we have bad and we have this is okay and this is not okay and all this positive and negative, because you're so balanced. Your mind is so open that that kind of stuff just doesn't really fit in with you. You might be a little bit stubborn with your perspective too. Here we have Libra, Gemini, and water signs showing up. So you can have any or all of those in your chart. And I feel like the way that you speak to people and the way that you create this harmony almost causes them to kind of be taken aback by it. They're not exactly sure what to say back to you when you kind of drop your truth about something. I feel like you have this very certain energy about the things that you say. And so for people that are a little bit wishy-washy, it's kind of like, yeah, you're not sure how to handle it. Which is interesting because you have 2 air signs showing up, which is like the definition of wishy-washy, but I'm not feeling that for you guys. Even if you are Libra or Gemini, I feel like you're very certain when it comes to speaking your word. So yeah, this is what's different about you. You can let me know if you felt like it resonated or related to you in the comments or not. Either one is very interesting for me to see. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. So welcome, Pile 4. If you picked the Bloodstone, then this is your reading. I'll put it somewhere it doesn't roll. So let's find out why you're so different. Ooh, so we have fluidity and outer core. So yeah, you guys can kind of move with the flow of life. You don't necessarily need to fight them against the currents as much as most people. Also, you may be very sexy. Lots of sacral chakra energy, lots of fluid water energy. Very sexy in appearance, or just very sexy like vibe. Even if you guys don't feel sexy, I'm really getting the sense that you're very sexy. Fury and bushfires. Yeah, so you guys have lots of passion, lots of anger, fury. You can connect to that empowerment that anger gives us a lot more than other people, a lot quicker. I'm getting that you don't slip into powerlessness, you slip into anger, and you do something about the things that happen in your life that need to change. You're able to like go with the motion of the ocean until you can't, and then you rage. That's really what I'm feeling, this fury and bushfires. Which is cool. I mean, that's good energy to have. Fury, anger is hard for other people to handle. Like, we live in such a world where anger is kind of like looked down upon or thought of as a negative thing, but it's really not. It's way better to be mad and doing something about your problem than it is to be in that helpless, powerless state and doing nothing and letting things stack up. So I get the sense that you guys are very kind of aggressive in a way that softer people aren't necessarily able to connect to or able to handle. You may have had people in your life try to tell you that you need to like calm down, you need to like do whatever, but you're so passionate. And that's what anger is. Like, it's passion, it's fire. So yeah. And then expansion and north. So yeah, I feel like you have a very growth-oriented mindset. You're very much about how you can improve your life, how you can improve yourself, how you can improve your surroundings. You're pointed towards expansion and you move towards it with intensity. And so for people that don't really like to grow or don't really like to change, you don't really kind of fit in with those people. There is so much energy for you guys. Like again, sacral chakra can create sexiness, but it can also create that passion and that drive. And you guys really have that. And I feel like you maybe kind of grow beyond the people in your life. You might kind of expand so much that you don't fit into an old job or you don't fit into an old circumstance or an old friend group. And you're kind of constantly being thrown into the new with this growth ability. You're not necessarily one who will stay in one place mentally, stay in one place spiritually, or even physically. You have to move. You have to keep going forward. And that's a very admirable trait to have. It makes it hard for you, though, to fit in with those very stagnant people, because there's a lot of people today who resist change and resist expansion and don't want to improve anything and want to stay in that powerless mindset of they can't do shit. And so you don't fit in with those people, which makes a lot of sense. We have the tiger's eye. Yeah, so more kind of powerful energy. Tiger's eye is one of the most powerful stones, they always say. It has this ability to bring fortune. It has this ability to open your third eye chakra. It's the stone of, maybe getting this wrong, the Dalai Lamas? Maybe it's Buddhist, but anyways, it's a very powerful stone. It's often associated with royalty and nobility, and yeah, you have this power about you. Intensity. Growth, look at that. You got the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, you're very oriented towards growth. You are someone who grows through what they go through. You do not get stagnant. You're always becoming more. And yeah, so in that way, a lot of people in this day and age, like I've already said, don't do that. So you're different from the vast majority, but in a way that makes you very impressive and very able to do the things that you want to do in this life. Because if you're oriented towards growth and you're oriented towards improvement, you're way more likely to create the life that you really want than someone who just kind of stays stuck in their way of being, who doesn't change, doesn't question themselves, doesn't allow their anger, doesn't allow their rage to kind of move them forward. So that's what it's for. The fires, the whole thing's on fire and all those kangaroos are running, right? They got to get out of there. They got to get somewhere else. That's what anger does. It's like, hey, your boundaries were pushed, or this situation was messing up something that you didn't like. It crossed a line for you and you got to get out of here. You got to do something about it. That's what anger is for. You have a lot of power to you. I know I keep saying that, but we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So again, this speaks to this kind of fluid, watery energy, making for a really interesting balance within you. In reverse, it can mean that you're kind of very changeable, to the point that you might not really commit or stick to things that easily. You just kind of keep trying to move. You may be a little bit moody, which would make sense again with the anger. You may kind of I get the feeling you guys can't hide your emotions. You guys can't shove it down. You express it. And so for the people around you who do shove down their emotions, who do repress them, it's kind of like, you know, there's a disconnect between you guys because they see you expressing everything. They see you going angry out of nowhere, or sad out of nowhere, and responding to your life with mood changes. And yeah, it makes you seem different. It makes you stand out. Maybe people think that you're a little bit difficult, but that would be, you know, their own perception of you. Yeah, there's definitely a moodiness to you guys. You allow life to affect you. You don't have a lot of like walls of resistance built up inside you. You allow things to happen. And you allow it to hurt you. You allow it to make you happy. You allow it to make you mad. Yeah. Again, fire and water, this very interesting merging of energy here. So you have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Both running the same direction. So yeah, you're chaotic. You're spontaneous. I'm getting that you don't really make decisions with a lot of thinking. You make decisions based on your heart and your gut. You go off of feeling, and when you've decided to do something, you just go for it. You may be a little bit disorganized and chaotic because of this tendency. You may find it hard to fit into like a normal 9-to-5 job or like a normal routine because you need to be able to respond to your life and to change with the flow of what's happening and to chase these impulses that you have. And then we have the Journeyer. So yeah, you guys journey. You may find that you actually have like, I'm not sure if I should say this word because it's kind of like one of those ones people don't necessarily like to hear as much, but you may have kind of like shamanic intuition. You may be a bit of a shaman. You may have an ability to journey into worlds that other people don't, which is what a shaman typically is. I know in some places they say like shamanism is tied to certain cultures and you want to be wary of stuff like that, but I really get this the feeling from you guys that you're natural born shamans. You're able to go through underworlds and middle worlds and upper worlds in ways that other people don't. You may have really intense dreams. You may have an ability to like handle your drugs. I don't know if that's the best thing to say, but that is kind of a shaman. You know, a shaman takes substances and they bring back messages. And so I get the feeling with you guys that you can handle substances in a way that many people can't. I'm not saying you should do substances, just that you can handle them. You're naturally able to take in altered states of consciousness. And then we have the Spirit of Wisdom. So yeah, lots of wisdom for you guys. You're very wise with this growth and this expansion and this energy to go do things. You gain a lot of wisdom. I feel like with how much you just kind of like dive head first into things, you get a lot more knowledge and a lot more lessons out of life than most people. You allow your emotions to teach you. You allow your energy to teach you. You allow different experiences to teach you. And you're very wise. You may be naturally wise. You may have heard this your whole life. That you're just kind of like, have this deeper knowing about you than most people. And well, they may see this kind of like chaotic exterior. This chaotic exterior is actually really stable. It's really serving a purpose for you. So yeah, this is what makes you guys different. You can let me know if you felt like you related to it, if it resonated with you, or if not. Both types of feedback do help. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful journey, and see you guys next time.